Now we're going to talk about plugins. Plugins are pieces of code that you can install into your WordPress environment, and it will extend the functionality of WordPress. So the way that you go about finding a plugin would be to go to your dashboard and click on plugins, and you can see that probably the installation came with some plugins that were already installed. You can install plugins and you can have a bunch of plugins sitting there, but they're not going to be doing anything unless you activate them. So I'm going to show you a couple of plugins that I use quite a bit, almost on every site that I build in WordPress, and show you how they work. So first, let me just point out this PW page excerpt is one that I installed myself, and I did this so that I would get that excerpt field for every page that I created. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted to pull an excerpt from my About page. That functionality of having a special excerpt area would not exist unless I put that plugin in and that made it appear. So anyway, this is an example of needing a plugin and finding one that did that for me. So I'm going to go, and I don't want to search in the installed plugins. I want to go out there and find more plugins. So let's add a new plugin. And I'm going to pull up, I'm going to look for a plugin that I've used before, and it's called WP WordPress Zero Spam. And this helps prevent a lot of spam from coming to your site. And you may not realize that it is an issue until you set up a WordPress site and you start to get a lot of spam comments and whatnot. This plugin helps a ton, and you can see it gets a really good rating. So I'm going to go ahead and say install now. And it loaded, and I'm just going to go ahead and activate it. So now you will see it in my plugin area, WordPress Zero Spam, and it's working. And I don't really need to do much, so that was pretty easy. And you can see that the place where the plugins is stored is under WP Content. Go into Plugins, and these are all my plugins. You can see that these plugins right here correspond to the plugins that I have installed. So here's my Zero Spam plugin that I just installed. I'm going to use another plugin, and this is a great plugin. I've tried a lot out, and this is my favorite for this purpose, Form Builder. Whoops, I didn't want to search an installed plugin. I'm adding a new plugin. Duh. Okay, let's look for Form Builder. Okay, so this is a great little plugin right here. I'm going to go ahead and install it, and I'll show you how I use it. And all of these plugins usually have associated sites with them. So if you look at the list of plugins, you can see that you can go and view details, learn a little bit more about the plugin, and those sites often explain a little bit better how to use them. Sometimes you will quickly find that some of these plugins may not work right, or it doesn't quite do what you want to do, and it just takes a little trial and error. And that's fine. You just deactivate it and delete it and look for something else. There are tons of plugins out there, and most of them are free. And if you're feeling very ambitious and want to build plugins yourself, you can certainly do that. So anyway, let's use this Form Builder plugin. And the way that it works, once we install it, what happens with some of these plugins is once you install them, then there's some new features that appear over on the left-hand side. In this case, we have something under Tools now called Form Builder, and that wasn't there before. That showed up because I installed the plugin. What I'm going to do with this plugin, and what this plugin does, is it allows me to easily build forms. So I'm going to make a very simple contact form. It's saying these are the current forms that I have running. Obviously I don't have any of them. I'm going to create a new form, and I'm going to say I might want to change some of these things, so I am going to maybe edit some of these fields, and I will call this, name of my form is going to be a contact form, and the subject was contact from Soul Sister Shoemaker. maker site. And I don't have this email actually set up right now, so I'm just going to send it to my Gmail account. And I can choose an action. I just want the message to be emailed to me, but sometimes you want them to be stored, and you can certainly do that. You can store it in a database, and then you can download it later. So this is great for surveys, for example. I'm going to do a very just simple thank you text. Thank you for your inquiry. I will follow up with you soon. Okay. And I don't want an auto response or a form tag or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and save it. Now I can add more fields. By default, this is just the simplest form. I'm asking the user in a single line text box to enter their name. And this is the error message. If they try to submit it without putting a name in, they'll see that. My requirement is you have to put some type of text in there, their email, and their comment. So you can add other fields into your form and modify your form, and you can learn much more about this plugin if you follow the link to the site. But I'm going to go ahead and save my form. And remember, I changed the name of this form to my contact form. Now I want to use it. And part of the installation with the plugin is that, of this particular plugin, is that now I have this little form builder thing here that shows up on my contact page. So if you wish to display a contact form that you've created using the form builder plugin, please select it from the following options. So I'm going to pick contact form. I don't need this text. But if I left the text in there, the way that this page would be rendered, it would show the contact me and then display the form right there, but I don't need that. I'm just going to go ahead and say update, and let's take a look at the site. Go to the contact page, and there is my form right there. So let's just test it. This is from Julie Griffey, and this is a test. Send. And thank you for the inquiry. I'll follow up with you soon. And I can check my mail and make sure that it is there. Where is it? Okay. We'll give that email just a second to come through, and just to prove that it works. Okay, come on. All right, come on, message. Where are you? Well, trust me, it will come through. Well, let's go look at Gmail here. And well, I don't see it, but it should be coming through.